Imagine a pharmaceutical company with 37,000 employees, and not one of them is human. That's not science fiction. That's what Stanford just built, and it's already designing drugs that Merck has independently confirmed actually work. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one has real implications for how AI gets built going forward, not just what it can generate. Here's the story. Researchers at Stanford, led by James Zou, started small, a virtual lab with roughly 5 to 8 AI agents built to imitate a real research team. It worked well enough that they scaled it up dramatically. Now we're talking about tens of thousands of specialized agents, 37,000 of them, coordinated like an entire biotech company. That's why the structure matters more than the headline number. This isn't 37,000 copies of the same model. It's a full organizational chart. A chief scientific officer agent sits at the top, coordinating the whole operation. Below that, divisions mirror an actual pharma company. Some agents hunt for drug targets, others design molecules, others handle safety and clinical trial logic. And the specialization goes deeper than that. Within target discovery alone, different agents focus on genetics data, others on genomics and single-cell data, others on entirely different scientific domains. Think of it less like one genius researcher and more like a hospital. You don't want your cardiologist doing your MRI reads. You want specialists, each narrow and deep, working in parallel. Here's the part that should change how you think about AI, period. Zou's team ran a direct comparison. One single AI agent tackling a scientific problem alone versus the multi-agent system tackling the same problem. The multi-agent approach won, and not by a small margin. Why? Because the agents disagreed with each other. They debated. They had to defend their reasoning and convince other AI scientists that their approach held up. According to Zou, that friction produced reasoning that was more creative and more robust than just asking one model to solve it from scratch. That's the real unlock here. Specialized agents check each other's work, approach the same problem from different angles, and this is the important part for anyone running a business. They reduce the impact of individual mistakes. One agent being wrong doesn't sink the outcome, because 5 others are built to catch it. Now, ideas are cheap, results aren't. So here's the proof. The original smaller virtual lab designed new nanobody proteins targeting recent COVID variants. When those designs went into an actual wet lab, real chemistry, real biology, they outperformed previous human-designed nanobodies at binding to the newer viruses. And then the scaled-up version went further. One of the system's drug designs was independently confirmed by Merck, not Stanford's own team saying, "Trust us." An outside pharmaceutical giant checked the work and confirmed it holds up. That single fact is what makes this much harder to dismiss as just another AI demo. We're also seeing this pattern show up elsewhere, which tells you it's a trend and not a fluke. Google DeepMind's co-scientist system and FutureHouse's Robin, 2 completely different architectures. Both ran full biomedical discovery loops in roughly a day of machine time each, and both of their candidates survived wet lab validation too. 3 separate teams, 3 different systems, the same conclusion. Multi-agent collaboration is outperforming single-model AI on real scientific problems. That's why Zou believes the next major leap in AI won't come from a bigger single model. It'll come from a completely different architecture. The industry has spent years chasing one all-knowing model. This research suggests the future looks more like an organization. Thousands of specialized agents, each responsible for a narrow task, coordinated by higher-level agents managing the overall objective. That's a mindset shift for anyone building with AI right now. If you're only thinking in terms of which single model is smartest, you're behind. The real advantage is going to belong to whoever figures out how to orchestrate specialized agents that check each other, the way Stanford's system does. Now, here's the part most coverage of this story skips. Zou himself flags it. The biggest AI breakthrough may not be a smarter agent. It may be figuring out how to make thousands of agents work together without creating thousands of new problems. Coordination is expensive. Debate takes compute, and more agents means more places for something to quietly go wrong if you're not watching the handoffs. That's exactly the tension we help businesses navigate. Agentic AI doesn't replace your team. It amplifies them, but only if the coordination layer is built correctly from day one. Whether that's a 37,000 agent biotech simulation or a 5-agent workflow inside your own company handling research, drafting, and review, the principle is identical. Specialized, narrow agents that check each other's work will consistently outperform one general-purpose model doing everything alone. If you're exploring how a structure like this could apply to your team's workflows, research, content, operations, whatever it is, that's a conversation worth having. Check the description for a link to book time with us directly. So, zoom out for a second. This isn't just a cool Stanford project, it's a signal. AI is not magic. It's engineering, product discipline, and orchestration at scale. And the winners in this next phase won't be the ones with the single biggest model. They'll be the ones who figure out how to make thousands of smaller, specialized systems work together. If you found this useful, subscribe for more practical AI news and insights, and watch the related video in the corner to explore where AI is heading next. The future of AI may not be one machine that knows everything. It may be an entire organization of machines that knows how to work together.